Hello, everybody, and welcome to the RVtravel.com's question and answer. We are going live virtually. You probably have seen my Ask Dave columns on a weekly basis, and we are going to do it live in the video. So the first one we have tonight is from somebody that I get this question all the time is, why are my decals cracking and fading after only 2 years? So let's take a look at the different types of decals and what might be causing this. So first of all, there's basically two types of decals. There's cast and there's calendar or rolled decals. Now, the cast vinyl are 2 mil, so they're a little thinner, but they typically will last 7 to 9 years. And the kind of ironic thing about this is that the calendar is 4 mils thick, and you would think that the thicker the material, the longer it would last, the less it would fade, and so forth. And that's just the opposite. The calendar graphics, can last 5 to 7 years. Typically, you see them about 3 to 4 years. They start to go bad. So the difference in the decals, what happens is basically the exposure to the sun. The more sunlight is on this, the more they're going to dry and they're going to crack. This happens to be from a 2003 adventure that was from California. And you can see those decals have just dried up completely and pulled apart. So the first thing you want to do is basically protect them. Now, I've worked with a lot of the decal manufacturers like Sharpline and Vision, and they supply the Winnebagos and the Fleetwoods and some of the larger motorhomes out there. And one of the things that they tell us is that you're only supposed to wash it with a mild detergent like a Dawn dish soap, and don't wax it. That's a big thing. They say they do not want any wax on that because it literally will cover that and won't allow them to breathe. Don't use harsh chemicals on them. Don't use other types of shines. And, you see all this stuff out there. If you do want to clean those, you definitely want to use a microfiber cloth or something really soft. Otherwise, you're going to scratch that outer surface of it, and then it's going to crack and will peel even faster. So one of the best things you can do is keep it out of the sun. Anytime you're not using it, try to face it away from any place you're going to have direct sunlight. Sometimes people, if you can back it with the back towards the harsh day of the sun, then you don't have as much exposure on the sidewalls, or get a cover like you see in here. There are some products that are out in the market that Sharpline did recommend, and one of them is called Rejuvex. And I have a product of that right here. It's just a liquid. And what they have said is that they've got a test field out behind their facility that they put these large graphics and decals out and just see what different products do, what different technology happens, the thickness, how they're manufactured. They're constantly looking at that type of product. And they said that this Rejuvex, again, you can get it on Amazon, that it is basically will extend the life of those decals, those graphics, for about 2 times their normal life. So if you take care of it, you don't wax it, you don't scratch it up, you try to limit the amount of exposure, you can have these things last a lot longer. Now, another one that many people have used for years is called 303 Protectant. And I remember it came out way back, 1983 was the first year I started working at Winnebago, and we had a lot of the fiberglass was the beige colored, which would literally turn pink with oxidation, and the decals would start to crack and fade really bad. And so the 303 was another product that you could use. So if you basically protect the graphics as much as you can, keep them out of the sun, don't wax them, clean them off a little more often, because a lot of times when there's dirt and dust and stuff like that on there, that it will start to deteriorate that outer skin, and that's supposed to be kind of a protection of it. So you can extend them a lot longer. I would say the reason they're cracking and fading after 2 years is that they've had some pretty harsh exposure to UV light and the elements outside.